Hey everyone, I'm back with my first movie review that I've done since Infinity War, which was like 2 years ago. So we're going to be reviewing the movie The Protégé. Let's get started. Alright, so The Protégé is a movie with Maggie Q and Samuel L. Jackson and Michael Keaton. Basically, brief synopsis of the movie is Maggie Q and Samuel L. Jackson, they together run this kind of, I guess you could say, business where they find people who don't want to be found. So they're basically like a reconnaissance and recovery team. Sometimes they just find the person for a client, and other times they find the person and then kill them for a client. They're kind of like mercenaries for hire. As far as we know, they only kill like bad guys. They're not just killing the good guys too. But we don't learn a lot about how their little organization works. So that's basically what they do. I can't really talk much more about the plot without getting into spoilers, so I won't. Anyway, they get put on this mission to find someone, and as the mission begins, people just start dying left and right, and they're now being hunted. And then Maggie Q's character turns from hunted into being the hunter, or should I say huntress. Let's talk about the things I liked about this movie. Well, I'm gonna say straight off the bat, Maggie Q. I think she's so beautiful, and she has guns, which is even hotter. I mean, for 44 years old, having the action scenes like she does, the beauty and grace, I guess we can say, it's pretty. I don't know, it's pretty hot. But no, she's also a good actress, and I thought she played her part in the movie really well. Michael Keaton's character and Maggie Q's character, their tension and banter back and forth and their chemistry, I thought was pretty good. It did seem a little odd at first, but as the film went along, I was kind of able to more like kind of just sink into it and accept it for what it was. It's got good action scenes. Nothing that particularly stands out as like that's the most amazing thing I've ever seen type deal, but it was still pretty good. It's none of that quick jump cut stuff where you can't tell what the heck is going on. So that was nice. I love when movies don't have that effect going on. Some movies can get away with it and it works. In other movies, they don't need it and they use it. But in this movie, they didn't need it and they didn't use it. And the fight scenes were pretty realistic and stylish. And you could see clearly what was going on, which is a huge plus. Let's talk about the things I didn't like about the movie. And one of the huge problems I had with the movie is I didn't really understand why they were going after this one bad guy. We never see him actually do anything wrong. We at the end of the movie hear about, some stuff that he's done wrong, but it's never showed. In certain aspects of film, it's better to show than to tell. And, when you learn about writing, the great authors and great screen writers know that it's better to show something happening than to tell it. Because if you tell it, it just feels like needless exposition. That's kind of what this movie did at one point. And I'm like, I don't even care that they're going after this guy. He hasn't scared me. He hasn't been on screen very long. I know no reason why they're going after him. So that was kind of a letdown because I personally think that the best movies are the ones that have the best villains in them, because you get to see both sides of the story and you get to see the clear line between good and evil. And in this movie, I didn't really see that at all. When you have that kind of problem in a movie, it just lowers the tension of everything in the movie. You can have people fighting all day long and watch on the screen, and it can get pretty boring if you don't have that tension there and that reason for why they're fighting. Also, the bad guy, like at first he had barely any dialogue, and because he never does anything, I was like, man, this guy's boring. But then later, near the end of the movie, when he does have dialogue, I'm like, man, they could have used this guy so much in this movie and done so much more with him if they had written the script better. Because the guy was a good actor, and he had that kind of like older, menacing voice, like that calm, but you can tell he's evil type. I just feel like that was a real wasted opportunity. The editing was good. It was pretty on point. The pace of the movie was actually pretty good. I never got to the point where I was watching it and I was feeling bored, and that's kind of rare for me as of late. It kept a good pace. It kept you wondering and asking questions, but like I said, that tension wasn't there. The soundtrack worked well, but to be honest, I don't. You know, for a movie like that, you don't need like a theme, like something like Indiana Jones has, or Jaws, or the Marvel films have like that theme throughout the movie in the soundtrack. And you don't need that in a film like this, and it didn't have it. So honestly, I don't remember like thinking, wow, this soundtrack is great, or this score is great. But that's almost like a good thing for the movie, because it didn't draw you out at all, but you also weren't watching it going, oh man, this sucks. This is one part I liked about the movie, which you don't see a lot these days, is people never get hit by bullets unless it's the good guy finally killing the bad guy. And there's a couple scenes in this movie where characters actually get shot. It just makes it more realistic. Like someone shooting from like me to the wall, so like 12 foot away, and they can't hit this person, and they're like a hired hitman. Like, man, you suck. I could do better than that with an airsoft gun. It was nice that they kept that realism going. So yeah, that was my experience at the movies yesterday. I rated it a 7 out of 10. I might drop it down to like a 6.5. I would definitely watch it again for sure. Not just for the action scenes and everything, but because of Maggie Q, because she's just beautiful and badass. So yeah, those were my thoughts on the movie. If you've seen it, comment below. Subscribe to my channel. Like I've been saying in my other videos, I'm very close to 1,000 subscribers, and I really want to hit that. I'd appreciate it. Give it a thumbs up if you like this video, and I will see you in the next one. I'm Aaron, and goodbye.